This has been one of the major keys to me ascending in my life, is because I don't shy away from the opportunities to grow. I don't shy away from the opportunities to do things that are uncomfortable. And there has been a lot of uncomfortable things that I have done. I was a woman and a girl who would have taken a 0 public speaking. Like if I had like a presentation that I had to give for school, it was like, you had to go do like your presentation in front of the class. I would call in sick. Like I would tell my parents I was too sick to go. And then I would just take a 0, or I would like refuse to do it. And I'd be like, no, I'll just have a 0. Didn't care about the grade, and I used to be the type of person that would sit in the back of the classroom. So I would come early to class. I would sit in the back of the classroom. I would never raise my hand. I would never ask a question. I would just hide. And so many of us do that. And even this keynote speech that I did, okay, like I'm up there speaking in front of 400 people with like teleprompters and slides and the mic thing attached to me. That's completely different person than, and I'm not a new person. I didn't become anything else. I just saw that the ability to be up there and talk in front of people was hidden behind the belief that I couldn't, or that I wasn't good enough, or I wasn't beautiful enough, or I didn't know enough, or I wasn't valuable enough, or I wasn't worthy enough. I got rid of all of that, and the real me shone through, which I got up there and spoke in front of 400 people, and I loved every moment of it. I wasn't even nervous. But what was so interesting is when I got to that meeting, everybody came into the room and they filled the back tables first. They filled the tables at the back of the room, not the front of the room. And then the CEO at the keynote speech, she had everybody stand up who had been a part of the project. And she started listing all the projects. So if you were a part of this project, stand up. If you were a part of that project, stand up. I want to recognize you. And then by the end, there shouldn't have been one person sitting, because she named every single project that everyone in the room worked on. Half the room was still sitting at the end. And it was so interesting to watch. Friends would be like, you were a part of that. Stand up. Why aren't you standing? Get up. And they'd be like, no, I'm not going to stand. I'm not going to stand. So this really makes me think of, this language that I use quite often is the full expression of who you are and self-expressing, right? So when we fully express who we are, we let our light shine. That is expression of energy. That is the expression of the self, to fully self-express. But what do? We suppress. We say, no, not me. It's okay. I don't need to talk. Now, there are some people that we're in meetings with them, and they always ask the questions, and they're always raising their hand, and they're always giving their opinions, and it's a different thing. But what's going on there with them? They believe they're worthy of their question being answered. They believe they're worthy of their ideas being shared and heard. So those of us that would never raise their hand, that would never ask a question, that would never give their opinion or advice, why do we not think we are good enough for that? Why do we not think we are worthy enough for that? It is so important. I have another side of the coin, okay? So that asking all of the questions and being the question asker all the time is also a paradigm, and it's also an identity. And there is always something about that. So if you knew the answer already, would you have to ask the question? So sometimes asking all the questions all the time means that you don't fully trust what you already know. So I'm just giving you two sides of the coin, not to say that this is truth or whatever, but there's always, it's the awareness of, why do I behave in that way? Why am I the loudest in the room? Why am I the quietest in the room? Why do I always ask the questions? Why do I never ask the questions? Why am I somebody who gets up early in the morning, and why do I call myself a night owl? Why do you identify as these things? That's what I'm getting at, is just to fully just reflect on who you are and why you are the way in which you are. And then you might decide that, asking questions is what I'm going to continue to do because I think it's great. It's becoming the best of myself. But I'm still going to try to trust myself a little bit more. Or maybe it's, I don't want to be the type of person that's asking questions all the time, But when I really have a burning question, I want to feel safe enough to ask it. And that safety comes from within yourself. So many times I hear in this community, people that come into our energy, they come into our community and they're quiet and they don't introduce themselves. They don't say much. They don't turn their cameras on and they just kind of hide. And then what they say is, I'm going to step outside now. I'm going to come forward. I'm going to step up to the podium. I'm going to turn my camera on. I'm going to ask a question. I'm going to share a win. I'm going to do something that stretches me. And then that's when they start becoming the best of themselves. That's when they start to move. They start to see the energy change. So think about how you show up in this world. And could you show up in a way that's different? It's the way you walk into a room. It's the way you sit at the table. It's the way you raise your hand. It's the way you speak to others. It's the way you introduce yourself. So it's about being different. Even in this moment right now, if you don't have your camera on, and it's quite possible for you to have it on, but you're just choosing not to, turn it on. I'm not going to go looking to see if you turned your camera on, but it's one little thing that you can do to shift the energy. My friend Hina, with her students, she will not let you come in onto a Zoom with your camera off. You're not allowed. She believes that it's like coming into a class. So you go into a lecture hall with a paper bag over your head and sitting down. I thought that was funny. So turn your camera on. Just do it right now. Turn your camera on. Okay? Because you're hiding. But why? Why are you hiding? Nobody cares what your hair looks like, what your house looks like. Nobody cares if you brush your teeth today. Nobody can even notice or see. But it's the way you show up that matters, right? So putting your camera on, which is really beautiful. The other thing is the way in which you're sitting. The way in which you're sitting. Are you sitting kind of like, not too confidently, kind of like, whatever? Sit up straight. Raise your chin up. You feel completely different. You feel stronger. You feel more powerful. You'll be more engaged. I was working out with Eric at the gym yesterday, and I was doing a move, and it was not an easy amount of weight. And he goes, chin up. And the moment he said chin up, and I put that chin up, I could lift more weight. The simple act of putting my chin up. So walking, facing forward and looking ahead instead of looking at the ground feels completely different. It's the way in which you show up. I remember that I used to go to public events and I used to believe that I was shy. That was the belief that I held about myself, that I was shy. And I decided, is this serving me? And is this true? Why do I believe I'm shy? So I said, I'm going to go to an event and I'm going to be confident and I'm going to be outgoing. I'm not going to be shy. So when I thought I was shy, I used to go to like an event and I used to like go and like make a drink or like get some food or go sit at the table or pretend I was on my phone and like not really engage with people. And then when I decided to go to an event and I'm going to be confident and I'm going to be outgoing, I went in there and I just walked up to people and introduced myself. Hey, how are you? My name is Kathleen. So nice to meet you. Where are you from? And I went around the room just meeting people. Oh, I was nervous. I was uncomfortable. It was not the way I used to be, but it was a way I desired to be. So I knew in that moment I needed to be who I wanted to be. I want to go to a room and feel comfortable to introduce myself. I want to walk into a room and just feel like I can talk to people that I don't know. I don't want to feel like I have to hide anymore, right? This is being the elevated version of yourself. That's what it means to be an elevated version of yourself. I have a visualization on YouTube. It's called the Divine Self Visualization, I believe. And it's a guided visualization that will allow you to tap into this version of you. So right now you physically just did it. You turned your camera on, you sat up straighter, you put your chin up. So you physically allowed yourself to feel what it would feel like to be a more confident version of yourself. But visualization is such an impactful and powerful way of doing this because our subconscious mind does not know the difference between a past memory, what's happening right now in this moment, or a visualization in your imagination. This means that every memory that you replay, so the fight you had with your husband yesterday, the last month's results in your business that didn't go so well, the traumatic event that happened to you a few weeks ago, when you replay that in your mind, you are allowing yourself to re-experience it as if it is happening again. Okay? Your mind doesn't know that it's not happening again. It believes that it is. So let's not replay what happened. Let's visualize what we would have loved to have happened. I met this woman one time, and she said something to me that was very powerful. She said to me that when she lost someone very, very close to her, it was very traumatic. They were very, very young. I believe it was her mother. And she was young. She was like 17 years old. And she told me that her recollection of that time in her life is completely different than what other people would tell her. And I said, explain this to me. She said that everybody else tells her that she was an absolute mess, okay? That she was crying at the funeral uncontrollably, fell to the ground, this whole very dramatic scene ensued at the funeral. And she said that she does not remember that she remembers herself being calm and composed and shedding a few tears. And I said, what happened there? She said, I know what happened. I said, tell me. She said, instead of playing the memory over of the embarrassment I felt that day, I created a new experience in my mind and I visualized that until I believed that. And now she believes that she behaved in XYZ way. This is understanding the power of your mind. This is understanding that you can recreate anything you want in your mind. So the success that you don't believe that you had last month, what if you believe that you did? Neville Goddard is one of the greatest teachers of imagination and fourth dimensional thinking of all time. Of all time. So you can literally revise whatever experience that you believe that you have had and make it feel real. And when it feels real for you, what happens? Two things. When it feels real for you, so let's say you revise last month's results in your business. So you believe last month was the best month you've ever had. Doesn't matter if it really was or not. But when you believe that last month was the best month that you've ever had in your business history, you go into this month behaving how? Confident, empowered, inspired, lit up. So what's going to happen this month? You're going to be even more successful this month because you are acting in the assumption of success. You don't have to have had the real success created in your mind, and it comes into the physical form. Everything starts as an idea in the mind and moves into the physical form. So visualization is so powerful. So what that means is you can make something up. You can make up a story in your mind, get emotionally involved with the story in your mind. You think it's really happening. You think it's real. So that it changes the molecular structure of your body in that moment, okay? So this is one of the reasons why visualization is so important. The way in which you feel right now has a vibration, okay? So we use the word emotion to describe the vibration that we are in. I feel sad, I feel lonely, I feel frustrated, I feel unhappy, I feel bored. You're vibrating low and slow. You're oscillating low and slow. So when I asked you all to put your cameras on, you started to vibrate high and faster. You felt it, literally felt it, because you're like, ooh, I'm doing something outside my comfort zone. Your vibration will be more inspired. You will have more belief. You will be happier. You will be in more joy. You'll probably be feeling a little bit more excited about what's to come for the future. So vibrationally, you have changed the vibration that you're in. So this is what we want to do with visualization. So before a visualization, you might be vibrating low and slow. So you're going to attract other things that vibrate low and slow. We attract what we are. So if you want to achieve success, you want to magnetize success to you. You want to magnetize love. You want to magnetize abundance and prosperity, right? So we do that by being those things ourselves. Where can we be it in our imagination? Where can we feel it in our imagination? And it changes what you experience as your vibration today. For example, the lemon example, to visualize a lemon, right? So visualize yourself. You don't even have to close your eyes. You can if you want. But just visualize yourself walking into your kitchen and grabbing a lemon out of the fruit bowl. Grab that lemon, take that lemon, squish it in your hands like, oh man, that is a big juicy lemon. And then roll it on the counter, get all the juices moving inside that lemon. And then take a knife and cut that lemon in half. See the juices spilling all over the counter? Oh my God, my mouth is watering already. Now pick up half that lemon and just put it in your mouth. My eyes are watering, my mouth is watering, and my whole entire body just changed. We literally changed the physical way our body was functioning by visualizing something that was not real. Like that didn't really happen. Your mind doesn't know the difference. Your mind thinks that you just sucked on a lemon. So this is what we want to do with visualizing this best of ourselves. When we visualize ourselves as success, as love, as discipline, as consistency, as a powerful leader, as influential, as an icon, strong, confident, resilient. When we visualize ourselves networking and introducing ourselves to people, and we visualize ourselves on stage talking in front of 10,000 people, we change the way in which we are vibrating right now. And so then you attract to you the very thing that will fulfill the realization of that in your 3D physical world. So my keynote speech that I did, this is a beautiful example of this, because for the past 2.5 years, I have had this story that I don't really care about public speaking. It's not something I really desire. Is that the best of myself? So I desire to impact people through this material. I want to help change the collective consciousness. So that means the more that I can be in front of people talking about this material, the bigger the impact that I'm going to make. So why would I not want to speak to a room full of people on a stage? Because I was clinging to an old version of me who doesn't like to publicly speak. I got comfortable on Zoom, virtual. That was easy. But I kept telling myself, no, I don't care about public speaking on stage. I don't care about that. And I even manifested a couple times I was supposed to do it, not being able to go, getting sick, having a flight issue. Interesting. So then I thought to myself, okay, what would I really love? I would love to want to publicly speak. I would love to at least give it a go, see if it's something I'd like. So once I started to think about that, I had somebody reach out to me and ask me to come and be a keynote speaker at an event in Toronto. And I was like, I'll come and do it. They didn't tell me what they wanted me to talk about. I wasn't prepared. I just sat up there with a mic and talked. But when I was done, I was like, I loved that. So I practiced being it. And then I made a decision now that I wanted to do it. And so I changed my Instagram bio to manifestation coach, author, speaker. That's all I did, just speaker. And I let it go. Visualized myself up on the stage. I visualized a full room of people. I visualized having the mic on, what that would be like, and I just let it go. About a week later, somebody reached out from a very well-known pharmaceutical brand doing a Canadian conference and wanted me to be the keynote speaker. And they hired me to do it. I would not have attracted that opportunity if I was not a vibrational match to it. And I became a vibrational match to it first in the imagination. Then I practiced being it, and I attracted it. Did I write it daily? No, I don't write anything daily. It's not part of my routine. I do not believe that we have to write things down multiple times. I believe that I can write it down one time, and it will come into my physical. So whenever you believe to be true will be your truth. If you don't believe it and you think you need to write it every day, then I would write it every day. But I don't believe I need to. We are spiritual beings having a human experience, right? So we are not our bodies, we are in our bodies. And so I call my ego my human, and I call my spirit or my soul, my spirit, my soul, my oneness, right? So I am a differentiated version of an undifferentiated God, which means that I have source energy coursing to and through me because I am connected up into the greater source of it all. So that means every single one of you are a differentiated version or an individuated version of source energy. So every single one of you is a part of the universe. You are one with, not separate from. That's a belief that I hold that changed my life. You can choose to believe it if you want. I don't want anybody believing what I believe just because. I want you to believe it for yourself. So when you create an idea of the God of your understanding or the universe of your understanding, you can have realizations based on that. So whatever you want to believe in will help you. But I am here having a human experience. I wouldn't even say I am a human, but there is a human here. So when I say my human is out, what I am saying when I say my human is out is that I am all up in my personal mind. I'm all up in my ego. I'm overanalyzing. I'm taking something personal. I'm making it about me. I'm in fear, worry, and doubt. Because when I'm in my spirit, I just know. When I'm in my spirit, I'm grateful. I'm in a state of love. I'm in a state of bliss. I'm in a state of joy. It's easy. It's flowing. It's effortless. What's different when I'm in my spirit? There's no resistance. The resistance comes when my human is out. So my human says, this is scary. Slow down. My human says, what if people don't like you? My human says, what if it doesn't happen? What if it doesn't work out? But when I am in spirit, I am in a state of perfect faith that everything is working out, everything is going according to plan, every decision I make is the right one, I make decisions easily and effortlessly, I trust my intuition, I am guided. So for me, it's always, well, I know I just got to figure out the logistical parts of the 3D physical world to make it happen, but it's already done. So my place in Malibu, I am in my spirit about that. I would love it, and I can't wait to move into it. Just show me the way. Intuition, I'm ready. Show me the way, I'll follow. And I allow myself to be guided. I allow myself to be guided. So what would that be like when your intuition guides you? I don't believe that your spirit will tell you not to do something. It will just guide you in a different way. It's affirmative. It's positive. It's never in the negative. So if there's something saying, don't do this, what if this could go wrong? This could be a bad thing. Be careful. It's a risk. That does not come from your intuition and from your spirit. It comes from your human. It's the allowing that seems to be so challenging because we resist allowing things to be easy. We resist allowing it to be effortless because we have been taught that it is meant to be hard. We have been taught that it's meant to be difficult. We have been taught that we are not supposed to have faith. Every single time that you doubt yourself, every single time that you doubt yourself, you doubt God. Why? Why is that? Because if you truly believed in your oneness, if you truly believed that you are one with the very source of it all, the I am, you would not doubt yourself. So I do not doubt. Do the doubts come in? Yes. And what do I say? Wow, this is an opportunity for me to act in faith. This is an opportunity for me to prove God. Thank you for showing me that this problem is already solved. So what if you believe that every prayer was already answered before you even asked? Every prayer is answered before I even ask. That's faith. So then you don't ask, you say thank you. I haven't read the Bible, Marcia Bench, but where did the Bible come from? I believe the Bible is a manifestation how-to. We have just misinterpreted some of it, large chunks of it. Isn't it the only way to pray? Many people pray by asking, please God, deliver me this. Asking for things. But true prayer is being thankful for the delivery of it. before the delivery of it. I was talking to Neil and I said to Neil, Neil Donald Walsh, Conversations with God, that's who I'm referring to. And I said, Neil, I say things and I don't know where it came from. I say things and I don't even remember. And he said, me too. And so all of this information comes from the same place, from the same source. Your soul knows things that your mind will never have the capacity to understand. And when you allow yourself to tap into what you really are, your belief of it, not mine, yours, this is where your power starts to lie. So when this journey started for me, I decided what I wanted. What experience would I like to have while I'm in this body? Then I became the woman that I knew that if I became her, I could have that. And then I tapped into my spirit. And I allowed my intuition to guide me. In business, this is one of the things that is so interesting because people want to know what you're going to teach. They want to know what you're going to do. They want to put plans in place. And I'm like, my intuition has not spoken yet. My soul has not told me yet. So I cannot tell you yet. That's how much I trust it. So for me, I remember I created a chat at the very beginning of all of this. I was maybe 6 months into my business and I created a chat called Kathleen's Intuitive Hits. That's how much I believed in my intuition. Kathleen's Intuitive Hits. So every time I had a thought, a nudge, a feeling, I would send it. I'd be like, oh, we're supposed to do this. Oh, I had this idea for a name for this. And oh, I'm supposed to read this book. And oh, I'm supposed to talk to this person. And I would send messages all the time to allow myself to tap into my intuition. And so because I was being the best of myself, my spirit was like, here you go, I'm going to guide you. Ask and you shall receive. The combination of the masculine and the feminine. So this is why this work is so incredibly powerful, because the masculine energy, okay, so let's just think of polarity. Masculine and feminine are two different polarities of energetics. We tend to talk about gender and male and female. We're not talking about that. We're talking about energetics, ways of being, masculine versus feminine. We can also think of the spiritual versus the mechanical. So the mechanical is the doing and the spiritual is the being, right? So we are human beings, not human doings. So we are meant to be something and then do something as the person that we're being or the version of us that we're being, which is really fun. So when we think about the masculine energy is the doing. It's the hunting and it's the gathering, right? It's the going out and getting it done. We still got to do that. So if you have a business that provides the product or service to people, that has a purpose to elevate and to help people, you need to open your store every day and turn on the open sign. You need to say, I'm open for business. But most people just do that. They're in the masculine. So they sell every day, they post every day, they open the store every single day, and they take action towards growing their business every single day. That's a masculine energy. It's doing. But what I teach you is to tap into the feminine first. Tap into the spiritual first. Think differently. Feel differently. Visualize, meditate, journal. Change the person that you are being in this moment and then take the mechanical action. Thomas Troward has a beautiful, beautiful article called Entering into the Spirit. So when you enter into the spirit of a thing, the mechanical action doesn't have to be so hard. So perfect example of this is that when I was in network marketing, I used to reach out to 10 people a day in my network marketing business every single day about my products or about my business opportunity. So products or business opportunity, 10 people a day. I used to get like 2 people that would be interested in either. I would get 2 people that would be like, yeah, okay, sure, tell me about your products. Yeah, sure, tell me about your business opportunity. Then I got into this material. I started to study myself. I started to visualize. I started to journal. I started to believe that I was confident and powerful and that I was influential. I started to believe that I had a purpose and that I had more meaning. I was inspired in spirit. sent those 10 messages out, I would get 8 people saying yes. Same mechanical action, completely different result because I'm different. That's the difference. So notice when you're getting to the hustle energy. When we want to hustle, it comes from lack of faith. I don't believe that it is done, so I think I need to work harder to make sure that it's done. I need to force it. Power versus Force is a very, very good book. Would be a good resource for you. So decide what your daily actions are going to be in your business every day. What am I going to do every day? What actions am I committing to every single day? And I'm going to stop there. I'm not going to force. I'm not going to hustle. I'm going to have faith. I'm going to make sure that I'm showing up as a vibrational match to the version of myself that has all the success. And I'm going to surrender. And I'm going to trust. Trust is so important. Success in its simplest terms is faith expressed in action. It's a Robert Russell quote. Faith expressed in action. That means when you take action with a state of faith, you will be successful. But when you don't take action from a state of faith, will you be successful? So half the time people won't take action at all because they have no faith, or they will take the action without the faith. So then you're taking action believing it's not going to work anyway, so then you're asking for it to not work. There's this thing where people say, like, go for no. Like, just reach out to as many people and just collect no's. I'm not doing that. I'm not expecting a no. I'm going to be a version of myself that expects a yes, and then I'm going to go and talk to you all because you're all going to say yes. Because you love it. I'm not collecting no's. That's crazy, in my opinion. Anyways, I want you to dig deep with this question. Who do I need to be? Okay? You're going to dig deep, but I want you to go a little bit deeper. Not recognition or what people think of me, but what about myself could I shift that would impact? Self-honesty is huge here. You're going to take an action as the new you.